Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of Side X Walk. Side X Walk's videos question for Christians. Here we go.
All-knowing will automatically raise bias in debate. In order to be a true believer in the Word of God, you have to be just that, a stout, pious, unquestioning Christian, without a doubt in his mind that these words were true.
No, I would disagree with you that the best and the strongest Christians and the ones I have seen who do follow Christ are the ones who questioned it and then came to believe, not the ones who believed and then kind of found answers. You question it first and then you see that it is the truth and you come to it. Anybody who joins something having no idea what they're going into is simply foolish. It reminds me of like a shoddy Vegas wedding where people just get drunk one evening and get married and wake up in the morning having no idea what they got themselves into. And this is why I'm strongly against child baptism. That from what we see from the teachings of Christ is children are innocent, but it is lies of Satan that have infected and infiltrated the church, saying that they are sinners and need to be baptized, having no idea what they got themselves into.
Experiences. Most of the people who are stout Christians have never once let their thoughts drift toward any other way of thinking besides Christianity, and the rest all have essentially the same story. I lived a life of women, drugs, and sin until Jesus saved me from all that, and now I'm happy. I can assure anyone with a story such as this that there are thousands of heroin addicts who probably pray for vindication of their terrible ailments every day, but the reason they are not granted these prayers is because that vindication cannot be granted to you. It's found within yourself. Your life of sin was not changed because you became a Christian. It was changed because you decided that you wanted it to change. Christianity was what you made it. That would certainly be a good way to market religion, though.
I would disagree with those points because there are many people who lived a regular life and adhered to the gospel and heard the gospel message and accepted it. Many people. In fact, 13,000 Muslims a day in the Middle East leave Islam and come to Christ. And so I would disagree. And like I said in the story of the prodigal son, we have one child who leaves we'll say God. That's the best understanding of this story, is the child leaves God and then one stays with him. But the problem is they're both the same. They were trying to measure God's love in financial circumstances, and even the one that was with him the whole time missed the point. And that's a problem with, there's good and bad things about people who have religious upbringing all their lives and follow it. But of course there's bad things with that too. And people that join later really want to follow it. The people before are just sort of a part of it.
Do you hate your life? Be a Christian and you won't. An oversimplification perhaps, but an astute one. Peace and happiness are found internally, and while your giving up a nasty life is certainly amazing, attributing it to anything other than your own personal willpower is just not right. Then there are all the direct paradoxes and negations. For example, the phrase, God is omnipotent, God is everywhere. Okay, let me put it to you this way. If something is everywhere, technically it's nowhere. In other words, if everything was one, there would be no everything. It would just be that one thing.
Well, allow me to use an illustration, if I may. When we dream, our dreams, well, not in a physical world or a physical thing, it is a simulation of that, whatever it is. Our mind is everywhere of that. Our mind makes up everything that is in that dream that we process. Similarly, the physical world is really just the mind of God, and He's bigger than it, but there are certainly individual things within it. And a good example is the moon, the stars, our world. So in essence, when we create our own world as we dream, and we make it in our mind, and we interact in it, it's something we've created, and we are bigger than it because we have made it. And the thing that keeps us sustainable from things is the fact that we don't know that we're dreaming. And really, if anybody has the ability of a lucid dream where they can start creating it, I've only heard stories of how amazing that is. So likewise, with God's ability, we are just the creation of His mind, and He exists outside of it, but within it. And there are certain aspects where you experience His Spirit greater when you draw nearer to Him. See, we're in God's world, but we have been disconnected because of our own sin.
If something is everywhere, how can you differentiate that something from anything else? It's a situation of black and white. White being absence of color, black being a result of every color. One may see black as the absence of white, and they may see white as the filled-in version. Is there really a difference? They may be opposites, but they're a lot alike. All in all, I don't bash any religion in and of itself. I just want to try to come to understand where people are coming from. I choose to never believe something unless I understand it, and I will never accept something if I don't get it. And I'm sure anyone would agree. You can't accept something. You can't have an opinion about something until you understand it. And a lot of these Christians seem to have very strong opinions about things such as evolution and abiogenesis and all these things that they have no idea about. They don't understand. They have an opinion about it, but they don't understand it. I'm simply trying to understand, and you can't blame me for that. So, if you've listened this far, I thank you wholeheartedly, and I would say God bless, just to be ironic, but I'll just say peace out.
Thank you for your sincerity and your wholeheartedness of your questions, and I was hoping, I hope I was able to answer them at least on a superficial level. And if you would like to get a bit deeper in them, if you feel my answers didn't satisfy you completely in understanding it, feel free to email. Actually, I don't really like to do emails. Feel free to make a video and add it onto this response one to you, and one about some more questions that you have, maybe just 3 to start with, 3 or 4 questions that perhaps are a roadblock to your faith in God or in Christianity or Jesus Christ, and I'll be happy to try the best of my ability to answer you. So again, thank you for your sincerity and your honesty, and God bless.